hey YouTube, or hey guys, or hey whatever, or blah blah blah. Hello, intro here, in place here. So yeah. I got a 3-person chess set for Christmas, because I had been wanting one. This is the fancy $50 one. It's one of the smaller sized ones, but that doesn't really matter. So there are no other videos of the rules on YouTube, so I'm going to be going over them real quick. Before I get into how the pieces move, I'm going to be getting into the actual rules, like what the point of the game is. So there's 3 different variations. There's, basically, let me move that. So say this queen was right here. Now I know that's not checkmate on the black king. I know it's not. He has a lot of options for that or whatever. Obviously, I just freaking take the queen with the pawn. But, let's say that's checkmate. I know it isn't, but let's pretend that it is. If this was checkmate, now the king could still, like, he's not officially out, so he could still make moves or whatever later on. Like in the next thing. I'm pretty sure that's how that works. I don't know. I don't know if he gets skipped or if he can still make a move as long as the king's still around. So the first version is basically if one king gets checkmated, so this is checkmate. So this side gets checkmated, both sides lose, and white would win, or red would win, or black would win, vice versa. Any 3 side gets checkmated by any team, so anybody gets checkmated. Then the person who checkmated them wins, and both the other 2 players lose. Okay, that's the first one. I don't really like that rule version, personally. And then the second rule. So I mean, I don't play that one. Pretty much, we don't play that one. But so then the next rule version is check. If this black king is in checkmate, then and then this queen captures him, right? Then all of these pieces are just dead. They are just taking up space on the board. That is literally it. Or there's another version. If the white queen or the red queen or anybody takes the king, then all the black pieces or the red pieces or whatever, all these pieces would become whites, for instance. Or if it was a red queen, it'd be reds. All these would be. So basically, whoever captured the king, those pieces that are left over are all theirs. Generally though, by the time if you get a king, it's there's hardly anything left. You get a few pawns, so I never really worry about that too much. So those are basically the main 3 rule variations. So for who goes first, it's white, then black, then red. Red goes last, and then it just continues. You can see, right? Yeah, you can see my hand moving around. Good. So, that's how that works. Now, let's see, what else? Personally, from personal experience, red seems to have an advantage. Whenever I've played 3-person chess games, red seems to have an advantage. I used to play all the time as white. I'd be like, I'm white. Boom. I'm nothing racial or whatever. Just I'm being white because I want to go first. Because generally in normal chess that goes pretty well for me, and I generally end up winning, especially combined with pawn chains. But yeah, but with white and pawn chains, strategy really is weird in this game. Like all of the strategies that I would use in normal chess don't work in this. What's the time at? 4 minutes. So, it's really, really hard. Whenever I'm playing, what I'll do is I'll be red, right? So I'll go last. So, I'll just build up a little defense, or I'll get whatever I want going. For instance, I like moving my bishops here, because then they control all of this, and then the white controls all of this. So the bishops are really, really deadly in this game, at least in my games, the ones that we play. And I'll get into that in a minute. So, yeah. So that's what I like to do, and then I'll let black and white duke it out, so eventually somebody draws blood, and then they just concentrate on each other, and then I'll just be like, just sitting there watching and waiting for them to completely kill each other. So then, whenever they're pretty weakened, I start, I start attacking or whatever, and and that's how you win at this game. Okay, you let the other two kill each other, and then you come in and you start doing things, So, for how the pieces move, so we're going to be using white just because red and black are in an inconvenient position to do this. For how the pieces move. So the pawns, they move along their row. So this white pawn would move along this row. That's it, unless they capture a piece, for instance, if there was this red pawn here. And then this white pawn captures this pawn, then they're going to continue going straight. They're not going to go diagonally or anything weird, or they're not going to go to the side unless there's en passé, which if you don't know what that is, it's basically like that, I guess. I never play with that, but if you do play with that, then that would be it, and you would continue to go straight. And by straight, on this row. This is a row. This is really confusing for some people for some reason. This is a row. This is a row. This is a row. This is a row. Now, how I think of it is, you have 4 pawns for each other kingdom. So you can send these 4 pawns going to black, into black side, or you can send these 4 pawns going into red side. That's how I think of it. And they don't go diagonal or anything crazy. So that's how the pawns move. Now, also this square diamond shape, if a pawn is right there, then it can capture here, here, and here, because just look at it like from the different angles. You can see how it would capture, because it's like this. The pawns capture like that. So they just capture diagonally to the sides of them, but still going forward. Now, if you capture a pawn here, you're going to continue going along that row again, unless you capture other pawns. Same here, you're going to continue going along that row. So I like getting my pawns in these spots. Really, any piece, if you get any piece in there, generally it's going to be more powerful than if it's just normal. Frick, I'm running out of time. So yeah, that's how the pawns move. So the rooks, they just move along this row or this row. They don't go like this. I don't know why. Don't ask me why. I didn't invent the rules. So the rooks go like this or like this. So for instance, here he would go like that. Here he would go like that. The knight just moves like a normal knight would. So some of them are confusing, but really as long as it's 3 and then 1 down or to the side or whatever. So for instance, he can move here. He can move here. He can move here. He can move here. He can go pretty much. The knight's pretty cool in this game too. Bishops, we already covered them. Oops, I just dropped the king. Forfeit. So, like I said, bishops are very powerful pieces in this game. They can go, so from right here where the bishop is, he can go like that, or he can go like that. And same with the brown bishop, which is pretty cool. King, normal, moves 1. Here in the middle pieces, he can go here, he can go here, he can go here, he can go here, here, he can go here, he can go here, here. So most pieces are quite mobile in that. Queen moves like a bishop here, so if she's on white, she's going to move along these white lines. She's not going to go into brown. Don't get excited. Don't do that. She goes along these. What am I at? Frick, 9 minutes. And then she would move along this and yada yada yada. Pretty much the same. And that's really it. So I hope this helped you. There